guys, and welcome back to another Tide of Iron Saturday. This is a special video. Uh, this is recorded with a new camera. I had an old OnePlus phone which I dropped it and the screen completely cracked. So this is the first time I do a video with my new, it's a Samsung S25 Galaxy Ultra. So I kind of just Googled what phone I should get to get the best recording camera, and it was one of the better ones. So hopefully you're able to watch this in 4K with a lot better detail than you usually are. So just remember that if you're watching on YouTube, just click that little cog, and you can change the settings of the resolution to 4K, and you should be able to see everything much more clear. So we're still playing Tide of Iron, the expansion book designer series, and today we are going to play the Twin Villages. So it has a long historical background. It has long scenario notes here by the designer, which is Mike Benninghoff. Let me see if I can find a picture of him here in the back of the book. Right here. So this is Twin Villages, and we can see that, let's see, I'm not sure how the focus on this camera works, if it's automatic or if I have to, it looks like it's not automatic. I'm gonna have to press on the screen to focus. Anyway, this is the scenario, and I've laid it out like this. We can see that it's going to be 7 rounds. The starting initiative is going to go with the Germans. There's going to be 3 actions per side. There's no reinforcements. And there's some special rules here. It's the blue shaded hexes on maps 3A, 5A, 7A are the exit hexes for the German units. A German unit on a blue hex, blue shaded hex, may spend 1 movement point to exit the board. And you see those right there. And then we have terrain features. We have 2 entrenchments, which are here, 4 razor wire, and the stream is shallow. We can see here that the Americans are going to start with 6 squads, 14 regular infantry, 4 elite, 2 officers, 1 MG, 1 mortar, and have 4 concealed markers, 2 bazookas, 1 engineer, 3 Sherman tanks. We're going to have 4 starting strategy cards. One of the starting cards is the increased priority card from Artillery 1. And then our strategy decks are going to be Artillery 1, Artillery 2. Operational cards are Desperate Defenders, Camouflage, and deployment zones are all of these 6 lower maps. So 2B, 4A, 6A, 7A, 3A, 5A. So all of these here. And then we have the Germans. They got 4 Panzer IVs, which are a lot stronger than the Shermans. 8 squads, 14 regular infantry, 12 elite, 2 officers, 1 MG, 1 mortar, 3 half tracks, 3 bazooka squads. They start with 2 strategy cards, only got the command 1 strategy deck, and 2 operation cards, seized initiative, heavy fog, and they can deploy in any of these gray hexes. So the 2 starting hexes you can see here on the left. Okay, we're gonna see if I can change this setting, because having to touch the camera screen every time that I want to refocus is really annoying. And the camera, it's the bigger the maps are, the higher up I have to position the camera, so I can't even see the screen. It's too high up. Anyway, the objective here is kind of easy. At the end of a round, the Germans win if they control the bridge hex, that's over here in the middle, and if at least 2 Panzer IVs or infantry squads have exited the board from the blue shaded hexes. The Americans win if the Germans are unable to fulfill their objective by the end of round 7. So basically, we're gonna have, as the Americans, all we're gonna have to do is stop the Germans from capturing this point and from exiting by the end of round 7. So it looks to me like the Germans have a lot more forces, we can see that they definitely have more infantry. They have one more tank. Their tanks are also more powerful, and they got 3 half tracks. However, I do have the advantage of concealment for my infantry and cover for my troops. My tanks are all in the woods. My infantry, most of them are also in the woods or in entrenchments, which gives equal cover bonus. So this is going to be an interesting battle. Let's take a look at the operational cards. So the Germans have seized the initiative, which is at the beginning of each command phase, receive one command and place it in your initiative pool. So the Germans are going to gain the initiative, and the Americans are not. And then they have heavy fog. All units gain one cover unless they are fatigued. And this is a weather card, so this is going to affect everyone. So this is not going to be something good for the Germans only. It's going to be good for both the Germans and Americans. And it's going to be bad for me because I'm going to have to remember that in every battle everyone gets +1 cover. That's going to be tough to remember. And then we have the Americans. So they have 2 operational cards. Camouflage. Your concealed squads are not revealed when firing unless the attack inflicts 2 or more hits on the enemy. And then we have Desperate Defenders. Your squads may attack at half their firepower, even if they are pinned or disrupted. Squads containing friendly officers do not gain any additional benefit. Okay, and let's go ahead and have a look. And by the way, guys, if you're watching this, please take the time to comment. I want to know how well this camera does. I want to know how you think the lighting looks, if I need to increase or decrease it. I want to know if the focusing is all right. I see that there's some kind of autofocus on it. I can see okay, now it's not seems to work now for some reason, but I see it sometimes it does work, and that concerns me because that means it might autofocus at the wrong moment. For example, if I bring my hand up, it might focus on my hand, and then I remove my hand and it doesn't shift back, so all of this will be blurry. And that, since I can't see the screen myself, if that happens and then you play a game for 2 hours, you're gonna have wasted 2 hours of your time making a video which no one can see what the hell's going on. So please let me know, guys. We're gonna start by drawing some cards. I'm gonna get the priority out. Yep, we have one of those there. And I'm gonna reshuffle this deck. And while I'm doing that, I just want to say that I said in my last video I needed some figures, and that's false. I don't need any more figures. I have all the figures that I need. Very big thank you to Johnny P, JP, and to Rob for sending me the figures and not even letting me pay for postage. So I have every figure now for every Tide of Iron game, which means I can play every scenario without having to substitute any of the miniatures. Okay, so we have 2 decks I'm gonna keep drawing, I reckon, from. Maybe I should go to artillery deck 2 now, because I want to draw as many of these increased priority that I can. And this deck now has 2 of them, and the first deck has only 1 left since we picked one. So I'll draw. So I have my 4 starting cards. We have top priority barrage, offensive artillery, and then we have another increased priority there. So we're going to be able to collect a total of 4 of these increased priority cards, and each of them, of course, decrease the cost of using artillery or buying using them by 1. And you can see here, this one, for example, costs 4 to use. This one costs 3 to use. So that's going to be very beneficial. So I have 2 of them now. I have half of them and 2 more. And pretty much all of the artillery is going to be free for me to use. And then we have the Germans, and they shall start with only 2. So they got rapid mobilization, which is very lucky, and cut communication. So they already have seized the initiative, which is at the beginning of each command phase, receive 1 command and place it on your initiative pool. Rapid mobilization does the same. So now they're going to have 2 command points on their initiative every turn. So basically, the Americans are never going to try to seize the initiative. They're just going to save all of their command points to use artillery. And then they got cut communications, which is remove all command from both your and your opponent's initiative pool. So I'm not going to be very likely to use that card. Okay, so before we get going, I'm just going to put these out here to show the Germans managed to capture these, and I have managed to capture these. So I do have one more command point every turn, but that's not likely to help me out a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna sit down now on my butt, and again, big thank you to JP and Rob. Really big thank you. You're awesome guys. And to anyone who's watching, please let me know how the focus and everything works. Want to tell you just a little bit how I put out my forces here before we start. Here we have a mortar squad with 2 standard infantry, 2 Shermans. This is 4 standard infantry with the engineer badge. Here is a machine gun with an officer and an elite. Here is 4 standard infantry with a bazooka. Here, and these are concealed. Here we got 1 officer and 3 elites. They're also concealed. Here we got 4 standard infantry and a bazooka. We got a Sherman tank over here. So that's our American troops. And for our Germans, we got a machine gun up here with 2 standard, 3 half tracks. Here are 3 standard, 1 elite with a bazooka. Here is 1 mortar with 2 standard. Here is 3 standard, 1 elite with a bazooka. 4 elite troops, 3 elite troops with an officer. Same thing over here. We got 4 Panzer IVs, and over here we got 4 standard infantry with a bazooka. And that's it. So the Germans start. They have the initiative. So we are gonna do 3 actions per turn. And before we start, we ask, do anyone want to put their units in opportunity fire? And the American certainly does. So he is going to put that machine gun into opportunity fire. So let's see here. I need to get to this side with the Germans and escape, and I need to capture this. I feel like it would probably be best to get to cover, because these tanks are going to fire at me. So if I can get to cover, take down the Shermans, I can probably approach once the Shermans are down. Let's see here. With our Panzer IV, we have a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The machine gun is 6 hexes away. It's also concealed, so I currently cannot fire at it. So our movement points is going to be 6, and I kind of want to move into the trees. So it will be 1, 2, I guess 3, 4, 5 for the vehicles. I could even move up in here then. So I think that's what I'm going to do with these 2 Panzers. So 1 movement point, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't think there's going to be any way for me to fire and move. Let's see here, our range is 6. So let's say I would go here instead. That would be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would actually have range doing that. So I think maybe I'll do that instead. A movement and fire. So let's do 1 at a time, not to confuse ourselves. So I'll do 1 and opportunity fire machine gun here. He has a range of 3 to tanks, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be a long range. He can do a long range opportunity attack. So let's do that. He's going to roll 2 dice, and he misses on both. He needs a 6, of course, to hit, since it's a long-range opportunity fire attack. So that's 1 movement point, 2 free movement points. So we are definitely good to go for a fire and movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes away. So we're gonna go ahead and fire. Our firepower for our Panzer IV is 8. So half of that is, of course, gonna be 4. So we fire on the first Sherman, and we score 2 hits. The Sherman has armor of, let's see here, 4, if I remember correctly. Yes, 4. And then we have the woods, which will give him additionally 2 in cover. And then we have, of course, the heavy fog, so we have 1 more cover. So yeah, he does manage to defend against that without any problem. So we do the next guy. He moves in. We roll for the opportunity fire with the machine gun. He rolls. He scores 1 hit, and we're gonna have 5 in defense now. And we score 3 actually successful defenses. So we're good. And then we fire again at the Sherman tank. This guy, since we have the camouflage, he will only be revealed if he inflicts 2 or more hits on the enemy. So that's why he's still in the camouflage. Okay, we roll with 4 dice here, and scores no hits. We have 1 more order, and let's see. I might want to fire on this guy here. We should have a clear line of sight with the half tracks to him, and they're not fatigued. So let's go ahead and use that mortar. The mortar, of course, has a range of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're in range. We are going to use area attack on him. So with the area attack, we get to use 2 dice if we want to use a normal attack instead of a suppressive attack. And I want to use a normal attack. I don't want to try to suppress him. So we do that normal attack. We roll 1 hit. He is going to have 1 defense since he is standing on this bridge here, which gives 1 defense. Whoops. And he does not manage to roll any defense. So there we have, in the very first round, we have our first casualty, and it's a brave American soldier trying to stop the Germans. Let me just stand up here real quick and see. Okay, we're still recording. We're currently at 18 minutes. Good. Okay, let me see if I can. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the Germans. We now have the Americans, and the Americans are going to get to do 3 actions. So, of course, I'm going to have to fire back on these nasty panzers. So I'm going to use this Sherman, and then I'm going to go ahead and use his buddy here for supportive fire. So the Sherman has a range of, let's see here, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're definitely close enough. The firepower of the Sherman is really bad though, with only 6. Sorry, no, it's 8. I'm lying to you. I should have done the firepower of the Panzer IVs was 10, and I used 8. So I should have actually used 1 more die with them. It is very unlikely, however, that that would have changed anything because of their heavy cover. So, but yeah, their firepower is 10. I thought it was 8, but it's actually the Sherman that has 8 in firepower. So the first Sherman here, he's got 8 dice to roll, and then he gets 2 more dice. Sorry, I don't know why I can't count today, but then he gets 2 more dice here from the support of his buddy. So we have a total of 12 dice, and we're going to target this one. I can see they're kind of, I don't know if my eyes are messed up or my glasses, but it looks like this one is more gray than this one, that this is light gray and this is dark gray. So we're going to target the dark gray guy here. Let's go. And we got 1, 2, 3 hits, not so great. Not so great, but it could be worse. The Panzer 4, of course, has an armor value of 4, +2 for the woods, +1 for the fog or the heavy fog. So yeah, he managed to roll 1, 2, 3, 4 defenses, so nothing breaks through. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. I feel like it's the heavy fog is going to complicate things actually for the Germans because they don't want to, do a all-time rush here and get shot up. They want to take out the Americans so they can capture the bridge and get 2 units out here, but they can't do it too quickly, and because then they're just going to get slaughtered. But doing it in a good way, I think, is going to be tricky with this heavy fog that we have. Okay, so we have our mortar. Is there anyone here that we can target with that? I don't think we can. Maybe we can see those guys. They didn't hide that well in the forest here. You know, if if um, this thing shouldn't block line of sight, so these guys should technically be able to look into this 4xx, which is a big mistake from the German player. I don't know who that is, but he decided to put them all there. Quite stupid. But to be honest, there are so many, all of them are like elites and they're officers. There's not a single standard infantry here. So them being suppressed, that's actually quite unlikely. So is there anyone else I could use in a smarter way? I actually believe not. So let's go ahead and use that mortar. We're going to do a suppressive attack to try to delay the Germans into this hex, targeting, all of these guys. And range is 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So unfortunately, it's going to be a long range attack. Man, that's not going to be a good. That is not going to be a good attack because I'm going to hit only on 6s, and hitting these guys again is going to be very unlikely since there's, they're in the woods, they are elite and so on. So might have to rethink that. I know I want to fire this Sherman though, so let's start with that. And he should, I reckon, have line of sight to this hex here. I reckon he should. So I could fire on that half track, and that is going to be again my range with the Sherman is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's actually within his range. Has a firepower of 8. Let's do it. Let's hope for the best. We score 4 hits. That's pretty good because that half track only has an armor of 1. So he gets to roll 1 defensive die, and he fails his roll. So that means he's dead. So let me just confirm that because now, yeah, undamaged vehicle 4 hits or more is destroyed. So that's the first casualty of the Germans. That's a good Sherman. Patton's best. Maybe it's that crew from my Patton's best campaign. We got one more squad, and I am going to use the engineers. I am going to use their engineer action, which is fatigue them to build yourself an entrenchment. And that is because I hope to, with him, delay the Germans so they do not manage to capture that bridge. That's going to give him the defense of the bridge, which is 1, +2 in defense for the entrenchments for a total of 3. Okay, so we switch back to the Germans. And now I feel like I'm going to be able to keep the initiative. So I'm not going to have to worry as much now about staying in, safe areas with my tanks. So I think I'll just do a bum rush with my panzers. So here we do 1, 2, 3, 4 movement points. Let's see, we have 6, I want to remember. Yeah, so 4, we can do that as an fire and attack. We're going to have to take opportunity fire from the machine gun again. And again, it's going to be 2, no hits. And then we're going to fire at that first Sherman. So this time we're going to do it right. He's going to roll 5 dice instead of 4. He scores 2 hits. The Sherman has 4 in defense, +2 for the woods, +1 for the heavy fog. And he scores 2 free defenses. Well, lucky me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do the same thing with the next Sherman. We're kind of consolidating them down here. We have to take 2 in fire. That's 1 hit from the machine gun. We roll 4 in defense +1. I can already see a 6 there. So yeah, we're safe. And then we roll for the attack. It's going to be 5. Same Sherman. Oh, wow. Look at that. 4 hits. Wow. Sherman got 4 defense, +2 for the woods, +1 for the heavy fog. Can the Sherman roll 4 or more? Nope. He rolls 3. So that pays off. That very aggressive tactic pays off for the Germans. This Sherman is now lightly damaged. Wow. I did not think that was going to happen. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm always, when I'm playing this game, I like to play as the US, to be honest. It's my favorite faction in all World War II games. So I'm always like, imagining myself now as being the US, but still seeing the Germans do that, vicious attack and actually succeed. That is, very interesting. Okay, we got one more action. I feel kind of stuck by this machine gun here. I really want to deal with it. I think I'll just do a fire and movement. So I go out here. And I have to take opportunity fire, of course, from the machine gun. Hopefully I can survive. He is going to do standard attack, which is going to be 3 dice. He's not a German machine gun, thank God. Range 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're good. He scores 1 hit, and the Germans are going to receive 3 defenses because they are in the forest. And they roll 2 defense. That's 2 defense because it's a forest, +1 because of the heavy fog. So he's still concealed. That desperate defender and camouflage. Sorry, the camouflage is really powerful. Huh? Okay, so we go back to the Americans, and I don't think there's too much we can do here. I need to move my tank, I feel like, but he's been used, so that's not going to happen. Let's see, I got 1 bazooka squad. He's over here, and that's not going to be very useful to me. Let's see, his range is 3. Yeah, he has a base range of 3, so I need to get within 3 hexes to do proper damage. I could attempt to fire, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at long range, hitting only on 6s. I could do that. I'm going to have a 6. I'm going to have a 6 in firepower. Sorry, even 7. Let's do that. So I'll fire with this bazooka guy. That's 4 standard infantry and +3 because of the bazooka that he has. So he is firing on this Panzer 4 here. 1, 2, 3, that's his range. 4, 5. So that's going to be a long range attack. He will only hit on a 5 or a 6. So he actually hits with 2. Sorry, he will only hit on a 6 since it's long range. So he actually hits with 2. So let's remove his concealment now because he's revealed himself by doing that attack. So the Panzer 4, of course, has an armor value of 2 and then +1 because of that damn fog. Let's see if he can manage to defend himself. And he does not. He does not. That's fantastic. We damage him with that bazooka attack from so far away. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. I thought once this guy got lightly damaged, I thought, okay, man, this is over. Okay, so now he's done for. We should have two more actions, or one more action actually. We should have to do, and I feel like I want to use this mortar just like I should perhaps use it on the tanks. I feel like if I can defeat the tanks, I can probably save this situation. So let's do an attack there on the tanks with the mortar. He is going to attack with 2 dice. It's not going to be a suppressive attack, so I really wish there were 2 of them, but there's only 1 and 2 standard infantry. And we roll 2 hits. It's an area attack, so both of them have to receive those hits. So first tank, he has now an armor value of 3 since he's lightly damaged, +1 for a heavy fog. So that's 4 defensive dice, and he managed only with 1, so he's now heavily damaged. Wow. Okay, man, this is really paying off. Okay, so let's see here. I think we need to re-roll our attack dice. I reckon for the next one, man, I haven't played for a while. I recorded a bunch of videos and then I put them to put them on my laptop. I was out working, so I spent every week I would spend some time to edit the video. But the problem is the rules don't stick when you do that. I reckon that I have to re-roll my attack. Okay, so I have 1 hit, so he's gonna have 5 in defense, 4 from armor, and 1 for heavy fog, and he manages to defend. That's a shame. It would have been awesome if I managed to kill him or damage him, I should say. Okay, that's it. Good job. Did I? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it is the Germans' turn again. And I am. Let's see, can I attack them? No, I cannot attack the machine gunner yet. I'm gonna do. Man, these guys should have done a fire and movement. They did a movement for some reason. So let's do a fire and movement with these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, yeah, they have a movement value of 4, so that's going to be a standard movement as well. But let's just start moving these guys up because I need to capture that bridge. They are going to have to take an opportunity fire from that machine gun with 3 dice. The machine gun hits once, and they have 3 in protection, 2 from the woods, 1 from the heavy fog, and they manage to defend, so no damage. And then think, let's see here, these guys could attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They want to attack these infantry guys over here, but currently can't. Let's. And it's always a problem, these machine guns in heavy in cover with opportunity fire. Let's. Okay. If I move up that guy, he's also gonna take opportunity fire. Okay, and I can't fire at him because he's concealed, so that's a even bigger problem. So I'm just gonna have to push my units forward, I reckon. Is there any way? The only other way I could do is moving up next to him. Let's see, the half track's movement value is 4. No, it's actually 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am pretty certain, at least, that moving adjacent, that concealment markers are one of those things that I can never really truly remember all of the rules. Let's see here. A concealed squad is adjacent to an enemy unit at the end of a status phase, even if it's in cover providing terrain. Yeah. So let's see if I want to sacrifice one of my half tracks. So I move 1, and he's going to fire. Let's see, his fire range is 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and now he's gonna fire. So his firepower in normal range for vehicles is 2. And he rolls 1 hit. I have 2 in defense, 1 for armor, 1 for fog, and I managed to defend. That's good for the Germans, bad for me. And then he just keeps moving. Let's see, he started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could even do a fire and movement now, meaning I could fire. I have to stop here since we moved into barbed wire. But I could fire on this bazooka squad, for example. So my fire value against infantry is 4. Let's see, a fire and movement is 2 fewer movement points for a vehicle, 1 fewer for a tank. So that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should have 2 left. So I do 2 half my fire value. I hit once, and they will have 3 in defense, and they manage to defend. That's 1 extra for the fog. Okay, so we're gonna be able to spot that guy now and hopefully take him out. I want to move up my machine gun, but let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I just want to get him up, but I'm gonna have to take opportunity fire from that Browning machine guns. We roll 3 dice. He scores 1 hit. The machine gun is gonna have 3 defense, 2 for the woods, 1 for heavy fog, and he managed to defend. And then we go back to the Americans, and they don't really have too much stuff they can use now. They could fire on that machine gun. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire on that machine gun. We will roll 4 dice. That's 4 standard infantry. We do a normal attack, and we roll 1 hit. They will have 3 in defense, being in the woods, and they don't manage to defend. So that's the 3rd casualty of the game. 1 standard infantry of the Germans. And I got 2 more actions. Let's see here. We got this concealed guy back here. He might want to move up too. Yeah. I think I'm going to move up with him. So that's 1 movement point, 2, 3 movement points, and he's going to stop there. And that's the last unit that I can use. So I pass, and it's going to be up to the Germans now. So let's see. We still got this guy in opportunity fire. He's still concealed, so we can't fire at him. Let's just go ahead and move up these guys right here, where his opportunity fire is not going to be able to reach me. And this guy is going to move up right here, where again the opportunity fire is not going to be able to reach me. I don't want to take any unnecessary casualties right now. And that half track is going to stay put. So this is where we're going to end it as the Germans. So that's it. We go to the command phase. There's no new control or objectives, so receive command and victory points. So the Germans now are going to receive 2 command here on their initiative card, 1 from seized initiative operations and 1 from rapid mobilization. And then they're going to receive 3 command points to spend from these 2 captured command areas. And the Americans are going to receive 4. Let's see here if I can find. Only find ones. Okay. So let's see here. The Germans start to see what they want to purchase. And there is no point, I reckon. Well, they could spend cut communications, which is remove all command from both, and that's in the action phase, from both you and your opponent's initiative pool. So that feels like a waste buying that. So I think just to make sure that they will keep the initiative, they will spend these 3 point on their initiative card, because now the Americans have 4, so there's really no way for them to gain the initiative. And for me, I already, these cards are action phase cards, which I would buy during the action phase for a reduced cost because of the increased priority here. So there's no point in me getting any of those either. Okay, so let me see here. These are artillery deck 2 cards. I'm just trying to figure out what deck I want to draw from, and I want to draw from deck 2 to get another increased priority card. So that leads us to the status phase. Initiative stays with the German. We draw strategy cards, and the Germans draw major offensive. During the action phase, you may take up to 4 additional actions during this action turn. And the Americans draw from artillery deck 2, and they draw offensive artillery. And let's see here, remove tokens, all right. And the machine gun is going to stay in opportunity fire. And the machine gun here is going to lose its concealment due to the fact that it's now adjacent to an enemy. Okay, and no reinforcements, so we simply advance the round marker. Remember that we have up to 7 rounds on this one. Okay, so the Germans start again. Now I feel like I need to pressure this machine gun, so I'm going to use the mortar. The mortar is going to fire. He's going to fire with suppressive fire, just to get rid of this guy's opportunity fire status. So suppressive fire, he should get 4 dice, and he will hit on a 5 or a 6. He scores only 1 hit, and the guy there, he has 3 defensive dice. He's going to have 2 because he's an entrenchment, +1 for fog, +1 because he has officer, and +1 because he has elite infantry. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. He defends twice, so maybe using suppressive fire on that guy is not the best choice. Let me see here. I am going to, where's the mortar? Here it is. I'm going to fire with the half drag, which is miraculously still alive somehow. And the half drag has a firepower of 4 against infantry. He's going to hit on a 4, 5, or 6 since he's within close range. He's going to use a normal attack. And he hits once only. Wow, that's bad. 3 defense dice, and he manages to defend. I almost feel bad for the Germans, but I guess I shouldn't because they're, my enemy. Last action. I am. I could use the machine gun up there, I guess. I think I'll use one of these tanks to fire. And I could actually use these ones back here too now to help them. See here, their firepower is 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're within range. So I could simply use this guy. His firepower is 10. And then if I were to use supportive fire from these 2 guys back here, that would give me another 10 dice. So that's gonna make me less mobile, because obviously I'm not gonna be able to use them individually, but to take out 1 out of 2 not damaged Shermans, I think that might be a good deal. So I'll do that. So he fires, these 2 use opportunity fire for a total of 20 dice attacking this Sherman here. So maybe it was a little bit overkill, but we'll see. We got, yeah, maybe it was a little bit overkill here. We could have used maybe only one opportunity fire, but you know, you do that and then you don't hit with anything. So we got 9 hits. Now this Sherman is going to have 4, 6, 7 defensive dice. So it still has that. It could even become just lightly damaged. 4 from armor, 1 from heavy fog, and then 2 from being in the forest. And he rolls pretty badly. He only rolls 2. So that means we have 7 hits on him. Only 4 hits would be enough to take him out. So this Sherman is now out of the game. So I still think it was, yeah, it was overkill, but I still think it was probably worth it to get rid of him, because that means he's not going to be able to shoot back now that the actions go back to the Americans. So we go back to the Americans, and I feel like I want to reposition my Sherman probably somehow. I'm losing control down here. And I have some time because these guys are all fatigued now. Well, let's start with this guy and fire. I'm firing on this Panzer IV here, which has no cover. And I am going to fire with a total of 8 dice, which is his crappy firepower against vehicles. And I managed to hit with 3 dice. And the Panzer IV has 4 in defense because of its armor, plus 1 for heavy fog, and he defends against 3. So those Shermans, if they don't have support, usually there's not much they can do against enemy armor. Okay, we got 2 more actions here. I'll use the mortar again. Hopefully score something. So I rolled 2 dice into this hex. I attack this one first. 1 hit. Again, he has 5 in defense. And he rolls 2 defenses. Next guy, score 1 hit, and he has 4 in defense. And he scores 1 defense, so he's undamaged by that mortar attack. Well, I still got this bazooka guy, so let's fire with him. And I still think I need to take out the tanks, not the half track there. But so let's do this guy, and that's going to be a long range attack. He's going to have 7 dice to roll. 4, 5, 6, 7. He scores 2 hits. He's going to have 5 in defense as before. He scores 4 defenses. Wow. Okay, and it's going to go back to the Germans. So I am going to attack with this Sherman here. And he is heavily damaged, so that's problematic. That's not very good for him. He's going to attack. Let's see here. He is going to attack this Sherman. So his firepower is 10. So that means his firepower half down, being heavily damaged, is only 5. So we roll 5 dice. He scores 1 hit, and the Sherman is going to have 5 in defense, 3 from its armor, 2 from the forest, and 1 for heavy fog. He scores 2 defenses, so he's good. And I need to bring this guy down now. So let's use this guy. Actually, let's use this guy, and their range is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 8 dice together, and they are going to use a combined attack with these guys. So let's see. First of all, we have 4 elites firing, which gives them 8 dice. And then they get support from these fellas, and they have to get a 3 standard, that's 3, and 1 elite, that's 5. Rounded down, sorry, halved and rounded up, it's going to be 3. So I get 3 more dice from them. So this is 11 dice, and we are going to do we're going to do a standard attack. And that's really bad. We only get 2 hits from all those dice. He is going to have 3 in defense. So, and he does not manage to defend. So that officer and elite are killed, but machine gunner is still alive. And that's a big problem for the Germans. That's going to cost them another round. Then the question is what I should do with that. Let's see. Lost track of how many orders I did. I think that was my second order, so I should have 1 more order to do. And I'll attack with my machine gun then onto this machine gun. So his firepower is 4, so I get to roll 4 dice, standard attack. Score 2 hits. He will have 2 in defense. Sorry, 3 because of the fog. And he rolls 2 defenses. Well done. Well done. Okay, that's it for the Germans. We go back to the Americans. And let's go ahead and fire with my Sherman. So I'm going to fire with the Sherman on the half track. So my anti-vehicle power is 8, as you might remember. Let's fire. We score 3 hits, and he has an armor of 2. 1 armor plus 1 for the fog, and he scores 1. So he's actually only lightly damaged. So that's not a very effective attack. Okay, and then we have this guy, the engineers. I don't think I want to do anything with him. Let's see, his range is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could attempt to fire on these guys just to have him do something useful. So he fires with 3 dice. It's 3 standard infantry with an engineer badge. They score 1 hit. They have 3 defense. And they manage to defend. Okay, last order. We'll do... Okay, I'll move in with these guys here. And try to eliminate that machine gun. And that's 3 elites for 6 dice, plus 1 officers for a 7 die. Oh yeah, we have a fire and movement, so that's going to be half of my dice. So 4 dice only. We score 2 hits. They have 3 defense, and they roll only 1 defense. So 1 standard infantry is dead. Only the machine gun remains. That's it for the Americans. We go to the Germans, which will get 3 actions. And yeah, this is problematic. He's still in opportunity fire. I'll attempt to eliminate him with this one. I do a fire and movement. The machine gun will fire with a firepower of 3. They score 1 hit. They have 3 in defense. And they manage to roll a defense. These guys, they're tough. There's 3 elites and 1 officer. So that's 7 dice, 3.5. That turns into 4 dice. They score 1 hit, 3 in defense, and he rolls a defense. That's 1 tough machine gun. This one is used. Okay, let's go ahead and move up this guy then. It's the same, 3 elites and 1 officer. He attack with opportunity fire. 3 dice. 2 hits. And that, oh yeah, he doesn't have his concealment any longer. 3 defense. And he rolls 2 defense. He got 2 attacks, and he manages to roll 2 defense. Okay, so he gets to attack back 4 dice. 1 hit. Machine gun gets 3 defense. He rolls 1 defense with that 5. That's crazy. Okay, let's let's try with the last guy, I guess. It's not a very effective one. That's 3 standard, 1 elite. So he takes that opportunity fire. Oh, 2 hits. Does not manage to defend, so he loses 2 of his soldiers. So the attack he's gonna do now is gonna be 2 dice. That's 3 dice, half of it rounded up against the bloody machine gun, and he misses. Okay, we'll go back to the Americans, and they only have 1 more guy that can activate. We do this guy. That's 4 standard infantry with a bazooka. They're gonna attack this half track here. Long range attack, so they will get 7 in attack power, but only hitting on 6s. They roll 1 hit, and that half track is going to have only 1 in defense from fog, and the fog doesn't save him, so he gets heavily damaged now. So that's a good hit. And we go back to the Germans, and I think they only got this guy. I don't want to. Okay, let's do it. We have to push. So he pushes, and we're going to have to take opportunity fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 dice from that machine gun. 1 hit, 1 defense. He's good. So he will do a fire and movement there. So he's going to fire 1, 2, 3, 4. And they also have 7 dice. Half of that rounded up is 4, only hitting on 6s. Keep in mind, he misses. And then we have this guy here. He's going to fire on the machine gun. And he has, let's see here, his range is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to fire with 4 dice, only hitting on 6s. And he rolls 1 hit. And the guy doesn't defend. So that's it for the machine gun. The machine gun got taken out by that half track. Finally, I was surprised to see it. I thought this guy's going to live forever. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for round 2. We go to the command phase. So the Germans receive 2 command points on their initiative for free. Americans receive 4 more command. And Germans, well, this is not something it's action phase cards. It's not something they're going to buy. They're going to keep the initiative. They draw a command card, rapid mobilization. At the start of each command phase, receive 1 command and place it in on your initiative pool. So the Germans are going to get 3 command on their initiative pool every turn. So, you know, they're not going to lose initiative. There's no way. Americans draw from artillery deck 1, spotting round, play in your play area. If your artillery drifts, it drifts 1 fewer hexes. So this is bought during the command phase. So this is going to be something that I can buy in a future round. Let's see here. Oh, these are, let's see here. These are command phase cards. They increase priority. I thought that you started with them already, so I'm just going to buy them now. So I have them. That's 1 command each. And again, place in your play area. When you activate another artillery card, its cost is reduced by 1. So I guess when you activate another artillery card, well, I guess that this is another artillery card. So this would, because it's artillery deck 1, so I guess this one should be then for free. I guess that's one of those questions that never really got answered, but I'm going to play that way. So give me your thoughts. What do you think about that call? But that's how I think it works. So then we have this one, and this one we can buy in the next command phase. But now we have these increased priority cards. So basically these artillery here we can almost use for free. Okay, so that's it. We go ahead and remove tokens. There's a few of them. I like, this is my favorite size when it comes to the game scenarios. 12 panels is a little bit too big. Just thinking about that map with 24 map panels kind of scares me. We'll see how that one works out. Okay, so we advanced the round marker and we are now in round 3 out of 7, but we're kind of running out of units now. A lot of stuff is getting killed, so we'll see if the Germans might be able to end it before that round. Okay, so I think I'm going to use my major offensive card here. Yeah, the Germans should have gotten 3 command points. They gave 1 away, so they have 1 left. So major offensive, you may take up to 4 additional actions during this action turn. So that means they're going to have 7 actions. That's 1 action using the card. So that's 6 actions now they get to do instead of the normal 3. So let's see what I want to do with that. I want to get rid of these guys. I want to get rid of this Sherman, and I want to push my tanks up. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tank and try to see if I can kill that Sherman alone without using the support of the other 2 tanks. So let's go ahead and roll. That's going to be 10 dice against that lonely Sherman, and I'm going to place out my tokens here. Otherwise, I'm going to forget how many actions I've done. So let's go. And yeah, you see here, before we did an overkill attack and we got so many hits. Now look, 10 dice and not a single hit. So again, like doing those overkill attacks, sometimes it is the best way to do it. I am going to attack with this guy who only gets 5 dice against a Sherman. And this guy hits 4 times. You see that? He got half the half the dice, but he hits 4 times. Incredible. The Sherman has now an armor of 3, 2 in cover from the woods, and +1 for heavy fog. And he rolls only 1 defense, so 3 of these hits break through. 2 is enough to destroy him, I think. No, let's see. That will make him heavily damaged. 3 is going to go ahead and kill him. So that's okay. We, as the Americans, have some real trouble now because it's going to be mighty hard to stop these tanks. Okay, these guys are going to do a fire and movement. So let's see, they have a movement value of 6, so they can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's going to fire on this. Let's see here. His range is going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 4, 5. So he can actually fire pretty good at him. Firepower is 6, becomes 3, so he uses 3 dice only. He scores no hits. Next guy does the same thing. 1 hit. They have 3 in defense, and they defend with 3. Okay. So these guys are just gonna basically, I'm gonna use them to get out of here, to get those 2 units that have to exit. I think there's gonna be enough time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's gonna be plenty of time to do that. So now I need to start working on this last Sherman and these infantry that's bogged down here. I think I am going to go ahead and try to get this guy positioned up here. So 1, 2, 3, and then I don't have quite enough movement points. If I would have had an officer in there, which gives you +1 movement, I would have been able to make it into the forest. But they make it just in here. See, it's so many counters now, it's hard to fit them all. Okay, and we have even 1 more action to do. Let's do the half track before they annihilate that, because they're going to probably kill that now, I reckon. So let's attack the bazooka squad. And he has a firepower of 4. It's going to be a 2. So no go. Okay, and it's the Americans. So let's see here what I want to do. I feel like I want to use these artillery cards. It's just that they're not they're not that great. Uh, Target, established contact is a 5. It's not a high chance of actually hitting or establishing contact. And the cost is, let's see, even with my, that's going to be 1 point each too. Okay, so the cost is, that's not going to be anything. And then you have, the possibility that it might drift, which is another problem. So I'm not sure if I want to, I'm going to have to think about that. If I want to use my artillery now or if I want to attack first. I think attacking first and using the artillery a bit later is probably the best move here. Okay, so I thought about it and I think I want to fire first. And the reasoning to that is that I currently have, so you have these different line of sights uh, for establishing, drift and such. And if you have an officer, and I only have one guy left alive who has line of sight, that's enhanced line of sight, and the drift number gets really low, it becomes a 3. Also, the Germans right now are kind of bunched up, so I could probably eliminate a lot of them if I am lucky enough to get some of these strikes. Because these have, let's see, one of them have a wide blast radius. So it's an area attack with wide blast radius. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this top priority barrage. And that's going to be that's cost 4, but with my increased priority, it only costs 2. So now I need to establish contact, and that is going to be a 4 or higher. And I roll a 6. I do establish contact. And target hex. So I am going to go, let's see. I would like to go with this one, but I don't believe I have line of sight to that one, unfortunately. But I do have line of sight to this one. I do have line of sight for this, but not with that officer. So I could have used this guy to do that, but that's too late now. I did say that I wanted to use the officer. So determine drift. So what we have to do is roll 2 dice, and the black one is the drift. So we have again enhanced line of sight. We establish context. We can determine now if we want to use the officer or not, if we want to go into this one or not. So this is how it works. Because I don't use the artillery very often, I actually just read the rules to make sure I make it right. So if you don't have line of sight at all with a non-fatigued unit, the drift number is 6. So you have to roll a 6 with this one or it's going to drift. And then the number you roll, that's if you roll a 5, it's going to drift 5 times. And then the number on the red one indicates, according to this, where it drifts. So I think I want to use the officer. So we use the officer and we're going to use it here. And this one is much juicier though, but no, okay, let's not get greedy here. We used the officer, so that's enhanced drift. We need to roll 3 or higher. It's still going to be a wide blast radius. It's going to hit here and here too. So let's hope now that the black one does not become, let's see, lower than 3. Whew, it rolls a 3, so we're good. It does not drift. We did a good job choosing the officer. Okay, so this card has now been used, by the way, after we've done this. And this is one of my actions, by the way. So there's a bunch of things that's going to happen now. First of all, before I was arguing, I used mortar on these two tanks, and I thought I had to re-roll that attack. Actually, you roll once, and that attack happens to everyone. So it's an area attack, and we're gonna roll 5 dice for all of these Germans. So we need 5s and 6s, and we managed to score 3 hits. That's pretty good. And it's not a suppressive attack, it's a normal attack. So these guys are going to get to roll now some defenses. First of all, they're going to get 2 for the woods, and then a third one because of heavy fog. I don't see how heavy fog is going to give you defense from artillery attacks, but whatever. Let's roll for the first one. And he rolls no defense. So let's get rid of that officer and 2 of these elite. So that was a very, very nasty hit. And we roll for the next squad, 3 defenses, and he managed to defend once. So he removes 2 of his standard infantry, but the Germans certainly took a really bad hit. A really bad hit. So it's going to be harder for them now to secure this with all of that happening. Then we have the wide blast radius. So these 2 areas are going to get hit, but they're not going to be hit with 5. They're going to be hit with 3 dice. So let's start with this area with the mortar. And we have 1 hit and 2 defenses. Then we have this area. And we have 2 hits. That's pretty good with only 3 dice. Let's start with this group. 2 defenses, he's fine. Next group, 1 defense. So let's remove this. There's only 1 elite left. And then final group here, 4 elites. Can they defend against this? No, they cannot. They lose 2 soldiers. Wow. Okay, so that artillery attack was brutal. Like, I'm not a fan of artillery in this game. This card is now discarded as it's been used. I'm not a fan of artillery, but if it hits, it can do some real nasty damage. So I'm just going to stand up and see that everything's recording here. Good. Okay, so I want to fire at the tanks now, I think. So he should have line of sight to them. So let's do the first one. We need to roll a 5 to establish contact. We fail, so that's 1 action spent. This can be redone. Next round, we use the next guy, establish contact on a 5, and we manage to establish contact. Okay, so we are going to use, by the way, we need to pay 1 each for these 2 cards. They usually cost 3, but we have 2 increased priority. So we are going to hit this nice little hex here with these 2 tanks and these 1 infantry squad. And we are going to hit them with, let's see here, 5 dice. But before we do that, of course, we have to determine drift. So again, we have enhanced line of sight with that non-fatigued officer. So 3 is the number that we want to roll at least with our black die, and we do. So it hits where we want it to, and this is area attack with 5 dice, a normal attack. So we roll 5 dice and hope for a really good result. Come on. That's a very bad result. Only 1 hit out of 5 dice. I'm hoping for at least 2. Let's roll 1 defense for the infantry since we have heavy fog. They even managed to defend. These tanks are going to have 5 defense each with their armor. Yeah, he defends with 4 out of 5. The first guy, second guy defends with 3 out of 5. That artillery doesn't even scratch the paint job on those panzers, unfortunately. Okay, that sucks. Well, so now we discard this artillery card. And that's it for our actions. That's our 3 actions. So we go back to the Germans. which will get 3 actions. So we are going to fire with the machine gun on these guys. Let's see, his range is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So he's going to fire with 4 dice. He scores no hits. We move up with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe not. Let's move here. 1, 2, 3. I want to stay 3 hexes away from the bazooka guy. So we do a fire and movement. So I get 2 dice against that bazooka squad. I get 1 hit. He has 3 in defense. He defends. And then, yeah, let's do the mortar. Let's attack an area attack where we have the Sherman. So that's 2 dice. Oh, we have 2 hits. That's delicious for the Germans. 3 in defense for these guys. And they score 2 defense. So they're good. For the Sherman, we have 4 for the armor, 2 for the woods, 1 for the heavy fog, for a total of 7 in defense. And they score 3 defense, so they're undamaged by that attack. Unfortunately for the Germans. Okay, so back to the Americans. Man, this mortar is gonna have a rough time. I'm pretty certain I attacked with him, didn't I? No, I only used my artillery. Okay, so let's go with the mortar. Let's go ahead and attack this this group here. We get 2 dice. No hit. Let's do this guy here. Let's attack this squad, the bazooka squad, and he's gonna attack with 3 dice. 2 hits. He's gonna have 3 defense. 1 defense. He loses 1, so he's gonna lose 1 standard infantry. And then finally, let's do this bazooka squad, who is going to fire on this half track, or maybe I should fire on one of these panzers. Let's do that instead. He's gonna get 7 dice, and he fires on this panzer, hoping to hit on a roll of 6. 1 hit. He has 5 in defense, and he doesn't manage to defend. So he is now lightly damaged. Wow, that bazooka squad has been very lucky. Okay, I need to crush these guys now with, whatever I have here. So I'm contemplating whether I should start moving forward or stay in cover and fire. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're a little bit too far away to do that. So I'm gonna actually start moving up with them. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fire. So do a fire and movement. That's 3 elites with an officer. So that's gonna be 7 dice, half 3.5, rounded up 4. 4 dice against engineers. 1 hit. They have 3 defense, and they defend. Okay, man, it's not looking too good for Germans, I gotta say. Not looking too good. I thought they had this in the bag, but now it's looking like that's maybe not gonna happen. Okay, let's. I'm just gonna go ahead and attack. 1, 2. Do the same thing with this guy. We gotta get out of this situation. He will have 2 dice against the bazooka squad. The engineer squad. 1 hit, 1 defense. Next guy does the same thing. He's gonna have 1 die. He hits, and they do not manage to defend. So they actually do take 1 hit. Okay, so it's getting close here. It's getting really close. We go back to the Americans, and they have the fellas up here, which can still act. So this Sherman here is gonna try to pop the half track. So he's going to fire with his 8 dice. He's not too concerned with these panzers as of now. And he scores 3 hits. The half track is going to have 2 in defense, 1 for armor, 1 for heavy fog. Unfortunately, it does manage to roll one of those damn defense dice, so it's only lightly damaged. Okay, and we go to, let's see here. We have a bazooka squad here. Let's use this squad first. Concealed squad. They got 3 elites for 6 plus 1 officer, 7 dice. They're going to attack the machine gun. And they score 2 hits, so they lose their concealment. And the machine gun rolls 3 defense and rolls no good defense, so they lose that machine gun squad. And then we have our bazooka squad, which is also concealed. And I think I'll use that to fire over here. I will have 7 dice. Let's fire on that half track. Hitting on a 6. We score no hits. Okay, and then it's the Germans' turn, and they only got 2 more units they can use here. It's 2 of these bazooka guys. Can maybe move up with this one, and this one he's gonna fire 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bazooka guy. So let's fire with this. He does a fire and movement. He has a fire value of 4, which becomes 2, hitting on a 6. 1 hit against the Sherman. The Sherman has 7 in defense, so it's not likely to penetrate. Nope. And then the other guy here fires also 4 dice. He hits ones as well. And the Sherman defends without any problem. Okay, that's the end of round 3. We put some initiative here, and I mean, we almost don't have to do this, but German receives 3 initiative points here, and then they receive 3 more command points to put in their bank, and the Americans receive 4. I'm just going to put a 5 out and take a 1 back, and they keep the initiative. They're not going to buy any of these cards or action phase cards. Oh, these are command phase cards. They should have been purchased. Okay, so they should have been. I don't think I purchased these, but yeah, you should purchase them. They do cost 1 command point. So sorry for that, but now they are purchased. I would have done it before if I thought about it. And then for the Americans, I definitely want to buy this card called Spotting Round. Place in your play area. If your artillery drifts, it drifts 1 fewer hexes. Your artillery cards are not discarded if you roll 1 or no success on your attack dice when resolving the card's area attacks. That's a very good card. So we'll do that one. And then we go to draw strategy cards. So let's draw from deck 2 still. We got Sustained Blanket, Establish Contact, Target Hex, Suppressive Area Attack 4, and Suppressive Wide Blast Radius. So that can be good to deal with infantry. So I have 2 more artillery cards I can use. And for the Germans, we draw Critical Objective. Place in your play area. Once per action turn, you may place an activation token on this card to give your active unit 2 additional movement points. That's going to be very useful. I have to buy that during the command phase, though. Okay, so that should be it. Squad transfers. Okay, so we're going to squad transfer here. The rules say that if they have a specialization token that you can't transfer them, I'm just going to house rule it. We have 2 elite infantry here. Both of them have the bazooka. I don't see a problem with transferring them. Here we're going to do, he should have been here. We do a transfer here just to basically save some time to have fewer units out, and that's going to be it. Let's remove our tokens. And we are now in round 4, so the Germans are running out of time. The Americans still have a stiff resistance up here. I'm not sure that the Germans are going to be able to do this. They still have 4 more rounds, so it's not too bad, but they're going to have to do it, in a smart way. Let me just stand up and see that it's still recording. And the thing I don't like with this new phone, it cost a high amount of money. I think I paid something like $1,200 for it. I figured, well, if it's as good as saves me from buying a proper video camera, okay. But the thing I don't like about it is that it's so expensive and it's so new, but the battery is not good. I have to charge it every day, and if I use it a lot, I have to charge it twice, which I don't like. So I'm a little bit worried about how much battery this recording is going to take from it. So let's get moving, guys. The Germans, of course, they have the initiative still. So they have 3 actions. So they are going to move out now with their tanks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what should I fire on? Let's fire on this guy here. And his fire value is 6, which becomes 3 with a fire and movement. No hits. This guy does the same, but he ends up here because he is lightly damaged, so he has 1 fewer movement points. So let's see here. That will be 3. That's 1 hit, and he's gonna have 3 defenses. Oh, he doesn't defend. He takes a hit. Those engineers are not gonna live much longer. And then for my 3rd action, see what I want to do here. Might be smart moving in here and trying to eliminate that guy. Still have to get this. Sherman. He's turning into be a real problem. Let's see here. I could probably shoot down that Sherman next round with all of my tanks together doing a long range attack. Their range is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's within range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's probably what I should do with my tanks. Save up next turn, just blast away with all of them, trying to hit that Sherman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But for now, let's focus on these infantry guys. That's what I would really want to take out. Let's use these guys. They're going to have 7 dice on their own. They're 3 elite and 1 officer. And then should I use support? Let's use the support of these guys. That's 3 elite. That's going to give me 3 more dice. And let's attack these bazooka guys. I could even use the support of this half track to get 2 more dice, because they have enough cover that I need to overwhelm their cover. So let's go ahead and use it. Let's do it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And let's put these fatigue markers on those supporting troops before I forget. Bada-bum. Let's roll. He has 3 in defense, and he rolls only 1 defense. So that was exactly as much was needed to eliminate him. Okay, wow, okay, I think the Germans have won this now. I don't think we're gonna be able to defend. It goes back to the Americans. I can desperately try to do some damage to them here. Let's keep targeting these tanks in hope of delaying them. Let's target this tank. Establish contact with a 5. I roll a 5. drift is free. We have an unexhausted officer here with view. Roll a 5, so there's no drift. So we're going to have an area attack here. We roll 5 dice for the attack. And we hit with 3 of them. Okay, this is going to be interesting. He has an armor of 3 only because he's slightly damaged, +1 for heavy fog. And he rolls only 1, so that's unfortunate. If he wouldn't have rolled it, it would have been destroyed, but he's now heavily damaged, meaning he cannot move out of there. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. So that's our first action, and we have now used that card. We definitely want to get the other Panzer now, because these guys are so damaged that it's going to be really hard for them to make it down there with that second. This guy is going to make it out, no problem, but you know, this guy and then that guy is going to be our primary target. So let's go ahead and try to establish, okay, this is our suppressive attack, so this is not going to do anything for us. But let's go ahead and use that for these guys. So establish contact is a 4. We roll a 1. Really not what we needed right now. By the way, the cost of this one is 2, and we have 2 of these increased priority cards. That's why I didn't pay anything for it. My third action, I'm going to use my Sherman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to hope to damage that Panzer 4 enough to make him immobilized. Let's go! Crap, only 1 hit. He has an armor of 4, +1 for the fog, so that's 5. So yeah, he's... Sorry, Sherman, you did your best, but you suck. Man, all of these Shermans has to be, you know, 75 millimeter high explosive cannons. None of those 76L, which have the armor piercing rounds, I reckon. Okay, so what can we do here now with the Germans? Well, we can try to do as much damage as possible. We have quite a few guys here which are, you know, we're able to give orders to. We're gonna have to move this guy up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do a fire and movement with him. And I am going to fire on this engineer here with half of my firepower, which will be 3. I roll 1 hit. He has a 3 in defense. He scores no defense. That engineer is now dead. And now the Germans can capture that area. Okay, we have 2 more actions to do. I am going to move in 1, 2. I have to stop because I'm in barbed wire. And then I'm going to move in with this guy, do a fire and movement. So they have a 4 in firepower, which turns into 2. 1 hit versus 3 in defense, woods and heavy fog, no hit. Okay, and we have the Americans, and they only have 3 more units that can act. Okay, I am going to have to rush up with this concealed guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do they have an officer? Nope. So they have to stay there, and they're gonna lose their concealed marker. They're not in any cover. And then I am gonna have to... Let's fire with this guy. That's 3 elite, 1 officer, for a total of 7 dice. We'll fire at this bazooka squad, hitting on 5 and 6, and we roll plenty of dice. We roll 5 hits, so they're guaranteed to die, even with that heavy fog cover. Okay, well done. We still got some soldiers who are up for the fight. Finally, we have the mortar squad here, who is going to fire. He's going to fire on this Sherman. Let's see here. Sherman, what am I going to say? This Panzer 4 with 2 dice. He scores 2 hits. Wow. 5 in defense And he rolls 2 defenses. Damn. Damn. And finally, we have this guy who's gonna. Oh, we actually have this tank too. So we have a few more that can act. This is gonna fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's gonna fire 5 dice on that Sherman. Half his firepower since he's heavily damaged. There's 6. The Sherman gets 7 in defense. And he managed to defend. So we go to the mortar, who is going to attack this squad with an area attack, normal attack. He scores 1 hit, and they don't have any they have 1 defense from the fog, and they don't manage to defend, so they take a casualty, and that's what happens when you run out into the open on a battlefield. Okay, that's it. We go to command phase, and the Germans keep receiving ridiculous amounts of command here on their initiative card. 3 command points, and then 3 points overall in their bank, and Americans receive 4 in the bank. So we spend command, and I am going to buy critical objective for 2 points. That is going to let me move further, get more movement points with the Germans. And then the Americans don't buy, let's see here, anything. They have everything, so we draw cards. The Germans draw heroic leadership, which is choose a hex, remove all pinned and disrupted tokens. And critical objective again, which can be purchased in the command phase. Let's see here. Put them here. And then the Americans draw another sustained blanket. Not really what we want. It's cards for suppressing infantry. Okay, so let's remove some tokens. Man, this is, it feels like a very balanced scenario, because it feels like, the Germans are just going to be able to make it. I'm still very certain, unless the Americans are really lucky with their artillery, the Germans are going to make it. Okay, so for the Germans, let's just focus on getting out of here, maybe. The problem is if they get, maybe they could position their panzers up here so that they could quickly leave, but could still fire. I think that's because we still have this round and 2 more. So I think that's the smartest choice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fire and movement, and he's firing on these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he will use a 3 in firepower. He hits with 1. They have 1 in defense from the fog, and they don't manage to defend. And then this guy does the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he hits with the same, but only hits on a 6. He does manage to roll a 6, and they manage to defend, so no hit. Okay, so we are getting out of there. Now the question is how I am going to seize this. That's going to be tricky. The barbed wire is making it very problematic. Let's move in here and just stop. Okay, and it goes back to the Americans. So the Americans will use this one to fire the mortar. The mortar is going to use normal fire on this hex. 2 hits. They have 1 defense, and they don't manage to defend, so they lose 2. So let's get rid of 1 officer and 1 elite, and there's 2 elites remaining. Okay, this is really going to be a close one. I'm now starting to doubt if the Americans are really going to be able to make it. I should have destroyed that Panzer, the Sherman. Okay, let's go for the Sherman, and let's try to get rid of that half track to make sure they're not going to use that to capture the bridge. 8 dice. He scores 2 hits. He will have 1 defense only, and he doesn't manage to defend. So 2 hits makes him now heavily damaged, and that also makes him immobilized. So the half tracks now are kind of not really a problem for the Americans. That should be my second action. So for my third action, let's see here. Okay, let's go ahead and fire with these guys, or maybe wait with that. Let's fire with these guys. So they will fire on this tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's long range. They have 3 from the bazooka, 2 from being 2 standard soldiers, so a total of 3. And that's 1 hit. He's gonna have 5 in defense, and he manages to defend. Okay. And then we go back to the Germans. So this guy is going to attempt to eliminate the mortar. He fires with 4 dice, and he will hit on 4, 5, or 6. And he managed to hit with 3 hits. They have 3 in defense, and they roll only 1 defense, so they lose their 2 standard infantry. Only the mortar remains alive to maybe still be able to help these Germans. Let's go ahead and attack with this tank. Let's go ahead and attack the mortar. 3, 5, and 6 are hits. He does 2 hits. They defend twice, so it's a no-go. Let's go ahead and use this guy. He's going to attack the Sherman with 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He scores 1 hit, and he has 4, 5, 6, 7 defense. It's not going to happen. Nope, it did not happen. Okay, and back to the Americans. The Americans now are going to go ahead and use these cards and try to see if that can change the outcome. Establish contact of 4 or higher. We have contact. Okay, so target hex is going to be this hex right here. And we are going to need to roll a 2 or higher on the drift. Roll a 3. We actually needed a 3 or higher, not a 2 or higher, since we have that officer up here. Okay, so this is a suppressive area attack with 4 dice. So we roll against this squad, and we roll only 1 hit. This guy has cover from heavy fog and cover from being 2 elite, so he has a total of 3 in cover. So yeah, he's fine. And then we have a suppressive wide blast radius, so this guy gets 3. And we score 2 hits, and he has 4 in defense from being 3 elite and having heavy fog. And he scores 1 hit. Sorry, 1 defense. So yep, that card didn't do anything. Okay, I was hoping that was going to be better, but let's do this one then. Establish contact 4. We roll a 3, maybe next round. We have only one thing more we can do, and that is attacking with this guy. So let's attack this squad here. They will have, see here, 6, 7 because of the officer. We attack long range this squad. We score 1 hit only. They have 1 defense for heavy fog. They don't defend, so 1 is lost. Okay. So that's it for the Americans. We only have Germans now. And I guess this guy has already acted. Okay, Okay, I want to move in with this one over here, and he has to stop since he's in barbed wire. And then I want to fire with my mortar on this. Let's see, let's do this squad. 2 dice. No hit. Let's fire with my half tracks. They do 2 dice each. And let's see, the range is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he can do normal attack. He scores 1 hit. They have 1 defense from the fog. They don't manage to defend. Only 1 infantry guy left there. This guy does the same, but against this one with a long range attack, no 6s, so he does not do it. Okay, that's going to be the end of it for this action phase. We go to command phase, and I'm not even going to put more, more of those points there because they are going to have the initiative for the rest of this game without any problem at all. Let's see here, Americans get 4. And they don't purchase any cards. The Germans purchase another critical objective card here for 2 command points. And then they draw cards. And the Americans draw top priority barrage. And the Germans draw cut communications, which is, remove all the command from your opponent's initiative card, which is not going to be something that's going to happen. Let's remove tokens from the few remaining units. And we go to round 6. So this is only 2 more rounds left. Okay, so we're gonna have to get moving here if we want to do this. So the Germans start, and they are simply gonna move in, of course, into this 1, 2, 3, into this entrenchment here to capture that victory point, capturing the bridge. And then I think we're gonna try to take out that Sherman. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have enough points to get away next turn. So these guys are gonna fire. They're gonna use combined fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they're gonna have 10 in firepower for the first one, plus 5 for the support of the other one. So let's go for that Sherman. And we score 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, not a single 5. And that Sherman is going to have 7 in defense. Okay, so he becomes lightly damaged. 1 hit makes it through. So not really that helpful, to be honest. That's my first action. We got 2 more action. Sorry, 1 more action. We move this guy. I am going to fire with these infantrymen here. 4 dice against the mortar to take him out so he can't cause any more problems. Only 1 hit, 3 defense, and I managed to defend. That's a resilient mortar squad. And it goes back to the Americans. Of course, the Americans now, maybe they can do something with this top priority barrage. Establish contact 4. And we're all a 4. I think I want to attempt to stop one of these tanks. I think that's the only way I can maybe win this. Let's target this tank. Determining drift. Drift has to be, we have enhanced here with the officer. So drift number is going to be 3. We want 3 or higher with the black die. And we're all a 3. That's very good. Okay, so this is now attack area, area attack 5. So he's going to get 5 dice. Please, come on. Come on, come on. 2 hits. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. He's going to have 5 in defense, 4 for armor, 1 for heavy fog. And he doesn't even block 1. It doesn't matter because 2 hits only makes him lightly damaged. And that's not going to stop him from leaving the board. Okay, so that's our first action. Second action, I'm going to fire with, let's fire with the Sherman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We still have a chance here. He's going to fire with a firepower of 8. Come on, do it. He scores 2 hits. If I can only get one of them through now, I will probably win. His armor now is going to be 4. It's going to be 4 minus 1 because of lightly damage, plus 1 of fog. Come on, come on. Ah, he blocks. He blocks 2. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Okay. Last chance. We have this bazooka guy up here. He has attack value 4 with the bazooka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's just within range to be able to fire at long range. So he needs to roll a 6 with one of these 4 dice. And he rolls a 6. He rolls a 6. Okay, this is interesting. This is probably what's gonna, you know, if he managed to block one of that, if he manages to block that 6, that the Germans will win probably. Ah, he rolls 1 successful block. Okay, well, I gotta say, Americans did a really nice try, but yeah, it didn't work out in the end. Okay, it's time for the Germans to act. Let's do this. This guy here is going to fire. He's going to fire on that infantry squad. He's heavily damaged, so he will only get 2 dice. 1 hit, they have 3 in defense. They don't manage to defend, so they lose 1. Let's get rid of the officer, I guess. Whoops. So 3 elites are left. And then let's do the same with this guy. Miss. And then we have only the Panzers left. Let's do this guy. Let's do 5 against the Sherman. Crap. Dropping dice here. 1 hit. The Sherman now has a 5 in defense. Actually has 6 in defense, but he managed to block. He has 4 in armor, minus 1 for being lightly damaged, plus 2 for heavy fog. Sorry, plus 2 for forest, plus 1 for heavy fog. We go back to the Americans, and they have, see here, they have a mortar who is going to fire. He's going to keep trying to stop this tank. He's going to fire with 2 dice. Area attack, no hit. And then we have 1 infantry squad up here. He's not going to be able to reach anything. So he's just going to take, you know, hope to get a lucky hit on these guys. 3 elites, so he fires with 6 dice. He scores 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Wow. 3 in defense. And I only managed to roll 1 defense. Are you kidding? Okay, this is interesting. So he scores, see, I remove these. He scores 4 hits and they only score 1 defense. So they lose these, all of these 3 guys die. Okay. I think the Americans are gonna be able to win this. That's crazy, man. And that's the last guy that can act. So we go to the command, you know, yada yada. Let's see here. The Germans receive a crap load of command now. Let's see, 3 and 3 there. The Americans receive 4 still. And we draw cards. The Americans draw increased priority, which is a command phase card. They're not going to be able to use that. And the Germans draw surprise assault, which is a command phase card. You can buy that in. Okay, this is going to be problematic for the Germans. Let's remove these. Okay, this is going to be very, very interesting to see if we can do anything about. Okay, we're in the last game round now. The Germans have the initiative. We have the critical objective cards we can use. Placing a play area. Once per action turn, you may place an activation token on this card to give your active units 2 additional movement points. So that means if I would use these as an action, that means this guy would have a movement value of, let's see, instead of 6, he would have 8. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4 movement points to move him out. So I could do a fire and movement and move out, I reckon. I'm not 100% sure that's totally legal. Let's read the objective rule here. I have the book right next to me. Let's see here, it should be in the special rules. A German unit on a blue hex may spend 1 movement point to exit the board. So yeah, I think that should be totally legal. So let's go ahead and use that. Let's use the first critical objective with this guy and do a fire and movement. So he fires, and he's firing on my Sherman with 10, let's see, sorry, 5 dice, which is half. So 5 dice. He scores 2 hits. The Sherman has 3 plus 2 plus 1, so 6 in defense. And he managed to defend. And then he has his movement value is 6 minus 2 because he did a fire and movement, plus 2 because of critical objective. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He has left the board. And then we used the last action. One action was activating this card. Then we used the last action to move this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, crap. He's not going to be able to move out because he's lightly damaged. Okay, so I'll have to save him and use the critical objective to get him out because he has 1 less movement point because of that thing. Okay, so last action, let's use the mortar here to do attack on this one, on area attack, suppressive attack. We hit once, he will have 1 in defense, and he does not manage to defend, so he is pinned. Okay, and that should be it for the Germans. We go to the Americans, and of course the Americans are going to try to stop this guy. We fire with the Sherman 1 more time. Man, that was stupid. I should have used the other one. And he scores, wow, he scores 3 hits. And that guy is just going to have 4 defense dice now. 3 for his armor, 1 for heavy fog. So I think he's done for. Yes, he's done for. He takes 2 hits. He's now heavily damaged and immobilized. The Germans have lost. So, I mean, yes, I should have used that critical objective. I should have used that on that one and left instead of staying and fighting. But I still think it's going to be impossible for the Germans to capture this point because our only guy, well, they could use this guy with the critical objective again, but still, yeah, maybe if they would have done it that way, they could have won. Let's see how this works out. Let's see here. We have our mortar. Let's use the mortar. Suppressive fire on this guy. So we will use 4 dice. Only 1 hit. He will have 2 in defense being a elite infantry, and he does not manage to defend, so he is pinned. And my third action, which is also going to be my last action, or actually, no, it's not, is I'll fatigue this pinned guy. Go back to the Germans. Not really much they can do. I can use that critical objective, the second one I have. Once per action turn, you may place an activation token on this card to give your active unit 2 additional movement points. I'll use that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go in here. So I actually managed to capture that bridge with that last action. And they're not going to be able to kill me. So if I would have been smarter with the tanks, I would have been able to get out of there. So that was really wow. One more action. Let's use these guys. Fire on that Sherman to get revenge. 5 dice. And we score 1 hit. And he defends. Let's do the next 5 dice. 3 hits. And he scores 5 defenses. So there's just no way to stop that Sherman, it seems. Okay, let's just use the last American guy we have. 6 dice. He's going to fire on this squad here. Normal attack. And look at that. He scores 5 hits. This guy's going to have 3 defenses, though. So, and he rolls 2 defenses. So only 3 hits. But look at that. Only 1 guy remaining. Still alive. That man, this guy killed some Germans. And the Germans still have, let's see, they have 3 more guys that can activate. Let's do Panzer 4 fires 5 dice at the Sherman. He scores 1 hit. And he scores 3 defenses. And then we have actually only 1 guy left. I think this is an old one. But anyway, we have that one left guaranteed. Let's do 2 dice against that squad. 1 and a 2, so it's a no hit. And that, my friends, is the end of Twin Villages. It's the end of this scenario. Wow, that was brutal. Well, I mean, I did a stupid move with the Germans. I figured that, you know, these guys needed support to capture this area. So I got too focused on that. I missed the fact that this guy needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 more point to actually move off. And he was lightly damaged. So if I would have used a critical objective on him and then left with the other one, I would have probably won with the Germans. That was a mistake. And then, of course, I used the critical objective with this one, but he barely, you can see that he barely survived. So it was still really, really, you know, really on the edge there for both teams. And you can see it's been a slaughter. I mean, the Americans they have almost nothing left. 1 tank, 3 elite infantry, 1 standard, 1 mortar, and the same goes for the Germans. They're all, you know, decimated. Their squads are just 1 guy left here, 1 here, heavily damaged, every vehicle immobilized. The only one that's actually alive and unhurt is this mortar squad. So what I gotta say, that was a really fun and balanced scenario. I really enjoyed it. I like how you really got to play around with the artillery. It's the first time that I really feel the power from the artillery. So that was really fun to try that. And yeah, I think the size is good. This is my favorite size of Tide of Iron 9 of these. Again, I shudder just thinking about that 24 map panel map. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, I want to give a huge thank you to JP and Rob for all the miniatures that you sent me. Thank you so much. And guys, if you want to see more Tide of Iron, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do every scenario that's ever been made, including all of the expansions. And we're now in expansion number 1, which is Tide of Iron Designer Series Volume 1. So don't forget to subscribe. If you want to support the channel, comment, like the video, share it. You can also become a supportive member of the channel. That's going to cost you $2.99 a month. Just click on Become Member. You can also do a one-time donation with PayPal or YouTube Super Thanks. You'll find my PayPal address in the video description. Okay, guys, again, and the last time, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time.